We all love to talk about growth. We love to talk about changing your life for the better, aspiring towards the highest ideal, right? All these Pinterest and Instagram and Snapchat or whatever other quotes there are now that we all love to talk about growth. We love to talk about changing your life for the better, aspiring towards your highest ideal. We love it. We love to read the quotes. We love to read the books. We love to go to the seminars. But one thing that most of us do not come face to face with is the simple fact that there is a truth in your growth journey that most people will allow to stop them in their tracks, stop them absolutely. Most people, when they face this, will jump ship. They'll think there's something that they are doing wrong or that they are not supposed to be on this journey. When this thing shows itself, most people will quit. And I believe that it is my responsibility as an individual who is on this journey and has gone through this, has faced this already, and is continuing to see it at greater and greater levels. It is my responsibility to let you know. It's my responsibility to point out the things that you're going to find during your own journey. Now, when I talk about growth, I'm talking about growing from one state of being to a higher state of being. So if you are a person who was addicted to drugs at one point in time, it is becoming an individual who is clean, who is sobered up. If you're a person who used to work in a 9 to 5 that you hated, it's now, the tracks to starting your own business or creating your own creative company or doing something that you truly desire to do. Somebody who found themselves in brokenness or broken relationships is aspiring towards the highest ideal of a beautiful, healthy relationship. Whatever it is for you, you are going to face the exact same resistance. You're going to face this exact same thing that shows itself time and time again. And I'm convinced that it is a part of the journey. It is instilled and installed in the journey for our greatest good, for our greatest growth. Now, that thing is the reality and the truth that when you begin to grow, when you start to take those steps, when it's no longer just in your head per se, which is very important. It is vital to create the vision. I believe that the vision must come first. However, when it is getting out of your head and now materializing, you are now taking action towards whatever your vision is, you are going to face darkness. A deeper level of darkness than you have ever seen before. A deeper level of resistance than you have ever faced before. And this will usually come in two forms that stop most people. Number one is in the inspiration or the, let's say, the stirring up of insecurity within other people, which then has those individuals do anything in their power to stop you within your own tracks. Now, for most of us, the reason why it is such a difficult one to overcome is because it is usually tied to family and friends. It's tied to the people that we love. When we start to grow, when we start to heal, when we start to overcome the current state that we're in and we start to elevate, what starts to happen is those around us, those who are comfortable with the old version of us, will begin to show their true colors. Their insecurities will show. And usually it is subconscious. Usually it is subliminal. It's not something that they're doing with malicious intent. It's the simple fact that there is so much within them that you are now highlighting. So many insecurities that you're highlighting within them that they can't help but try to stop you in their tracks in order for them to feel comfortable in their own skin. So an example of this is when I was between the ages around 14 and 19 years old, I was high probably every single day. And that's like an underestimation, right? That's an under exaggeration, whatever the word for that is. And during that period of time, my inner circle, the people around me, would never really question my motives. They would never question the way I live my life. In fact, they would egg me on and they would celebrate me for the things that I was doing, for the way that I was living my life at that time. However, at 19 years old, when I made the decision that I was not only going to be sober, but I was going to be clean, and that was going to be the way in which I lived the entirety of the rest of my life. Once I made that decision, all of a sudden I started facing resistance. All of a sudden, the people around me were pressuring me in ways they never had before. I mean, people never pressured me into anything that I can truly remember during that time because I was destructing myself. I was doing those things within myself. Nobody had to push me to do it. However, as soon as I pulled away from those destructive habits, I now saw that the people around me were trying to get me right back into that circle. They were trying to get me right back to that pipe, right? Right back to that pill, right back to that bottle, because it made them comfortable when I was doing the same destructive behaviors they were. But me being clean, me being sober, me doing productive things with my life was now highlighting the fact that they weren't doing those things. And most of us were so geared and engineered and wired and programmed into caring more about what other people think. And I will link the video that I created about that specific subject. But we're so geared and wired and, and obsessed with other people's opinion about us and the validation of others that we will stop doing what we are called to do, or we will get back into a destructive behavior just so we can still fit into the circle. I've seen individuals, specific female friends of mine, who had a circle of friends who were, most of them were a little bigger, overweight, etc. And all of them were at one time. And then one friend starts to, lose some weight and do better for themselves as far as their health and their fitness and take care of themselves. And all of a sudden, their friends started dogging them out. At first they were like, "Oh yeah, girl, yeah, we're gonna be on our journey. We're gonna do this, do that." But as soon as one of the friends started actually taking the steps necessary and started showing results, their friends basically turned on them, and they started speaking down on their progress. They started, calling them out, saying, "Oh, they too skinny. Oh, now that, you don't know who you really are anymore. Oh, now you're eating salads." They just started bringing up these anti-motivators, right? I would call it that. They started discouraging those productive and healthy habits. And for me, I've seen this in multiple walks of life, but number one is you have to remember that you are going to face resistance from others. Now, number two is, as far as the darkness is concerned, is in growth. When you start to take those steps, you're going to face the darkness that is within you. It's going to start to stir up things in you that you may have not even known were in there. Like, these are sometimes unconscious thoughts, unconscious emotions that we've been harboring for so long that have to go in order for us to ascend, in order for us to rise to the highest version of ourselves. And you will start to see things manifest in your surroundings that don't necessarily make sense. You'll think like, "Oh man, am I being attacked by the devil? Like, am I being attacked by demons? Like, what is this?" You won't understand at first that these are actually elements of your own subconscious mind that are materializing and showing themselves in real life. You may think to yourself that you're doing something wrong and that's why all of this is happening. But in truth, what is actually taking place is that there are elements in you that are purging themselves from you. And I'm hoping you already know this truth, but if you don't, we are only seeing projections of our own internal state. We don't meet anybody but ourselves. We attract those to us who we are like. Even if we don't recognize those characteristics in ourselves, those characteristics exist within ourselves. If we are fear-based, we attract to ourselves fear-based situations, circumstances, interactions, and material things consistently. Therefore, once we trigger a change, you're going to find that there's a battle going on within you. There's a resistance that's going on because that old self, right? That old self is continuously looking to assert itself. It is looking to reestablish itself. It is afraid that it's going to lose its position. That ego is tied so deeply within your own identity that the moment that you shine a light on it, which is really what you're doing when you're walking in growth, walking in healing, walking those steps with the divine. Once you start to unlock that aspect of your life, you will find that you will be seeing and meeting situations that were once subconscious that are now going to surface. And this is where you need to buckle down. You need to double down. Instead of looking at it and fearing and running the other way, you need to understand that this is a natural part of the process. Before a seed grows, it must be buried. Understand that logic. Before a seed grows, it is buried. And if that seed had human-like tendencies, it would think to itself, this is the end for me. I can't believe this is happening. All I wanted to do was grow into my fullest potential of a tree, and now here I am being buried underground. Not understanding that the process of growth, the process of maturation, the process of fulfillment must start with it being buried. So I just had to point that out to you guys. I genuinely felt at the bottom and top of my heart that if I continue to, give information on the surface level, but not truly dive deeper and give you guys some of the things that you are going to come face to face with, that I'm not doing you a true service, right? My job is to remove the rocks out of the way as I walk the path, and so you can walk your own path more clearly. So that being said, if you are somebody who is looking to take yourself through this journey, if you're somebody who is looking to walk through this journey, if you're already in this journey, I want to be a part of that journey with you. Now, I have a coaching program that I am enrolling currently. So if you're somebody who is looking to get guidance within this process, make sure to book a complimentary consultation call where we will see if we're a right match for one another, and we'll see if we can move forward from that place. You can book your call by going into the description below, booking a time. Well, click the link first, book a time that works for you and I. We'll get on a 30-minute call, see where it goes. And if we are in the right place, if there's right alignment, then we can get you going, and I can be a part of that process, but at the end of the day, it is still you walking those steps. I appreciate you for your time and your attention. Love you. Peace.